What's up, you guys? Welcome to episode 6 of Shark Plays, and today I'm going to be playing Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie for the Sega Genesis. And this game is actually pretty fun. I mean, it's based off the movie very lightly, and we'll get into that later on, but I think it's a really fun game. It's pretty accurate to the movie and somewhat to the show. So right now we're going to go ahead and play it and see how far I can get. But here we can see in the options menu, there's really not much to do around here. Obviously, I'm going to be playing by myself, so it's going to be single player. And everything else just seems fine. I mean, there's no time setting or anything, so we're just going to go ahead and jump right into the game. Now, if you guys don't know, obviously I'm a huge fan of Power Rangers, and the fact that they made a game based off the movie is actually pretty awesome because I loved that movie. It's a nostalgic movie for me. It's some type of movie that I enjoyed watching when I was a kid, and honestly, I just think it's really awesome to finally see the White Ranger, whereas the previous game that I recorded, it had to do with the Green Ranger. So it's cool to see that this really takes a place right after that. So that's really awesome to know. And here is just basically the intro, and the background is really awesome. The graphics are cool, the music is awesome, and there's really not much to complain other than just a few things that I'm going to talk about later on. But again, look at this, looks just like how it did in the movies, which I think is really awesome. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to do one player. So now we're introduced to Ivan Ooze, and if you guys haven't seen the movie, basically Ivan Ooze comes down and kind of gets rid of Lord Zed and Rita and kind of takes things in his own hand. And although the TV show basically redoes whatever the movie did, they still basically have the same concept. So this game basically has both the TV show counterparts and the movie counterparts. Alright, so we are here at stage 1. So now in our player select screen, we have between Billy, Aisha, Rocky, Tommy, Kimberly, and Adam. And the great thing about this is, unlike the previous Power Ranger game where they were all just recycled bodies with just a different color, here in this game you can actually tell that the Rangers look different from each other, so that's a really great upside to it. So I'm going to start off with Adam. And right now the game automatically picks up right here in, I guess, like a shopping mall plaza. And we're already fighting the Ooze Man. So what we see here is, you can see my life bar up at top, and the life bar beneath mine is the Ooze Man's basically their life bar, which isn't too much, so it's just about tapping buttons repeatedly. And there's a timer. So basically what happens in the timer is that if the timer ends up going down to 0, what happens is the game doesn't go into a game over or anything. The game basically, the time stays at 0, but your health ends up going down. And if you can see on the top right, it says credits. So that's basically how many lives I have in order to complete the game. And so, yeah, you basically just keep fighting until your credits are over, basically. And you'll see these coins that will give you power-ups, life-ups, and extra time, which is really awesome. And the cool part is like, say you're at the last 10 seconds of the game or the level. What happens is, if you manage to defeat all the enemies within that stage in a fair amount of time, the timing goes back up to 60 seconds again. So here's like the first complaint of the game. The enemies kind of stay closer towards the edge of the screen. It's very rare that they kind of stay in the middle, so you always have to kind of stay on the edge of the screen. And now we have Ivan Ooze. Beats the shit out of Adam and disappears. And usually after every stage you get like a, you know, bonus points for all you've done, but I don't really care about that. Alright, so this isn't really a complaint, but there is actually more cutscenes in this game rather than actual gameplay. The gameplay is a bit repetitive, but the cutscenes are just, there's so much of it. So we can see exactly from the movie, Ivan Ooze comes into the command center, destroys Zordon. Zordon sends the Rangers down to another planet. Captures Lord Zed and Rita. And now he meets Dulcia. So right now with Dulcia, you would assume that you're going to start playing in the planet, right? But apparently what happens is this game ends up going so far into the movie just by using cutscenes that you can see that they're already in their ninja powers, whereas they could have gave you levels where you're fighting in the jungle with those skeleton monsters or those other rock monsters, but this game just gives you a lot of cutscenes showing you scenes from the movie, whereas you could have been playing those scenes, which is my only complaint. So Dulcia gives them the ninjetti powers, and now we see those giant monsters, the Scorpitron and Hornetron that Ivan Ooze created in the burial site. And now you can see here we're basically already at the end of the movie where they found the giant power coin after defeating the rock monsters at the power temple. So even though it's called Mighty Morphin Power Rangers the movie, right after the first stage you're already at the end of the movie, so now you're just left to wonder what else is there to play in this game, because now it's like it's just a final battle, right, with Ivan Ooze. But see, like now you have their original costumes like they did at the end of the movie. Alright, so we're at stage 2 now. And I'm going to continue with... You know what? I'm going to stick with Adam. I think Adam was a cool Black Ranger, there's no doubt about it. And for this stage, there's actually driving cars, drive-bys, so you might want to be careful and stay more on the top half of the screen. And another thing is, they don't actually include Tango Warriors in this game. See, the coin that I just picked up basically gave me another credit, so now I'm up at 6. Which comes in handy because there are some annoying villains later on. So I guess we're basically downtown Angel Grove at night, which is where they were fighting those metal monsters, the Hornetron and Scorpitron. But this scene never occurred, so this is just to give you a little bonus feature. So this game is basically just tapping the A and B button non-stop and just that didn't work. So the enemies just basically keep going at you until you complete the amount of enemies you have to beat per section of the stage. So you're just basically tapping buttons until you just eliminate every single one of them. You can't move forward unless you get the yellow arrow giving you permission to move onwards. So that's kind of another annoying part of the game. And plus it would be a lot easier if you had 2 players, that's for sure. So I think it's based on how well you perform in this game. It becomes a little forgiving because you get these awesome power-ups and stuff. So again, it's not too difficult at all. It's just how much energy you have to keep tapping these buttons repeatedly to get to a stage. So we have about 10 seconds left, and I'll show you, hopefully, if this isn't the last one, what happens in the game. Or now we're back to 60, so we're doing good. See, it's literally just tapping one button. I think another great character to play as in this game is Billy, because he has the long staff. Alright, so that's basically Act 2 of the game. And now we can see the giant... what is this? Scorpitron? No, Hornetron. And this is Scorpitron. Alright, so now we can either decide we can do the Ninja Megazord or the Falcon Zord. So I'm gonna go with the Ninja Megazord. And they each have their own individual cutscene, so we'll start off with this guy. I mean, look at these. The graphics is really awesome. So now we are at still downtown Angel Grove, but the only difference is it's daytime, which was not part of the movie at all. And we are just fighting the monsters like how they did in the movie. So I have to keep moving to the left in order to get him back on the screen, because this guy is just constantly staying. So once you get a little halfway through with this guy, the other one comes in and now you have to beat that one. All under 1 meter too. So right now it's basically just a tie. I know you can block in this game, but what's the fun in that? So we just defeated the Scorpitron, and the reason why we couldn't defeat the other one, you'll see later on, or if you watch the movie, that's basically the one Ivan Ooze takes host of and becomes the big Ivan Ooze monster or whatever. So now, because that was the last stage of the end of the movie, now we get a cutscene of Rocky, Adam, and Aisha talking about how, if they remember the time they first joined being Power Rangers. So instead of continuing the movie, because we're already literally at the last ending of the movie, now the game shifts gears and goes into the TV show and takes us into a few episodes when Rocky, Adam, and Aisha came right after the Green Ranger lost his powers. So now we're introduced to how Tommy became the White Ranger and basically the new leader. So now we're taken back in time. Now instead of Rocky, Adam, and Aisha, we have Trini, Jason, and Zach, which I think is really awesome because they reintroduced them into this game. As last time we had them except with the Green Rangers. Now we have all original 5 Rangers with Tommy as White Ranger now. So I'm gonna go as Jason because Jason is a badass Red Ranger. And I guess from taking this into consideration, I'm assuming this is Angel Grove Park. And we're fighting putties now, which are by far easier than the Oozemans. And of course the putties were always a joke in the show regardless. Well, I lied. The Japanese Zyu Ranger versions were a lot difficult to fight because they got their asses kicked in that, but in the American version they were just like goofballs getting hit every 1 second. So in between every putty fight you get this Sentinel neck to kind of kick ass. And runs away, kind of. So once you get a little halfway towards the end, she basically runs away. And what I usually do is I head all the way to the end of the screen. And of course, these putties, they have the Z's on them, thanks to Lord Zed, who unnecessarily gave them a weak spot. Which is probably the stupidest thing ever. Because the original putties that Rita made were awesome. And you can pick up that thing and just basically throw it at the putties. So now we have another one, which is the Sentinel Ear. See what I mean? Like, they just fly off screen and it makes it a little hard to actually fight them. Alright, so the Sentinel Ear runs away. And now we have the Sentinel Ring. This is actually a huge improvement from the first Power Rangers game they released for Sega Genesis. I prefer this one more than the other one, because that was just a regular fighting game. Alright, so now we have to fight all three of these, the neck, ear, and ring, in one shot. All under one health bar. And what that means is just keep tapping buttons. So one of them is finally defeated. Now there's two left. I can do this. And another one is defeated, and we have the last one. Oof. See, like, she's hiding off screen. And I guess I defeated her because she wasn't even on screen, which was stupid, but whatever. So now Lord Zed basically throws his little grenade, makes the monsters grow, which you know is what's gonna come next. So now we can decide either Thunder Megazord or the White Tiger Zord. Both are equally good, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna go with White Tiger, just because we haven't seen the White Ranger version of the Megazord yet. The cutscene is awesome. Look at the detail on this, really awesome. Alright, so now we are in some random area, and we have to defeat all three of these stupid monsters again. The one with the hair is probably the most annoying because she has a long range of attack. Alright, so one of them is gone. The other one is gone. We're stuck with one last one. Get over here. The music is great. And that's the third one. So now we're at the episode where Rocky, Adam, and Aisha were newcomers to Angel Grove, and there was that scene in that episode where the baby on the stroller basically went downhill and all three of them were on their rollerblades. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, now we're getting introduced to Rocky, Adam, and Aisha slowly coming in. Okay, so now because they're in the cave, I'm going to stick again with Zack. So here's a funny part about this level right here. You see these rocks right here. How are you supposed to know you can actually hit these? These are like background things. If you don't actually hit any of these, you're just gonna like run around in circles not knowing what to do. And actually, if you go into one of these, what happens is you'll end up fighting Lord Zed, his giant hand, and that kind of just wastes your time. Unless you actually get something extra from it, but I don't really care about that. It's kind of like, oh, I shouldn't have gone through that cave hole. The meters on these putties are actually so tiny that all it takes is like 3 or 4 hits. We got a life up. I mean, the meter is up, so that's good. Okay, so that's good. Last 8 seconds. This is actually a very time-consuming battle. If only the first game actually had putties and actual fighting stuff, that would have made the game so much more exciting to play. But this game literally does what the first game doesn't. Alright, so now we're here fighting Goldar, which is another time-consuming battle because all he does is fly and stays on the edge of the screen, wasting time. The thing about Goldar fighting him is that you can't even defeat him in general. And if the timer goes up, it's really not a big deal because the game will just stop you anyway because you're not supposed to defeat him in general. Because Goldar never actually gets defeated. See, look at him, he's just hiding there. If you can get the meter at least halfway with Goldar, then that's good, but again, he's so annoying. Get down here, you little piece of shit. So I have about 24 seconds left. So that's pretty much it with Goldar. You're never going to defeat him regardless. And of course Goldar grows. Now we have to do another battle with Goldar. And again we can choose between White Tiger Zord or Thunder Megazord. So because we already did White Tiger, I'm going to go with Thunder Megazord and show you the cutscene of that. The colors are so vibrant in this, it's awesome. The thing is, when I was watching the Power Rangers show, I didn't know that this was actually another Power Rangers where their costumes were different. They just used all the footage from that series with this one, which is why you never actually see the Rangers in the full Megazord, because they didn't have the footage of that. See, if Goldar's in the air, at least the sword can help make wide range attacks, which is good. See what I mean? Like, he just stays there in the corner, which makes it a little difficult for you to actually hit them. Oh, he actually blocked it. Very nice. So yeah, that's Goldar crapping out again. So this is what I'm kind of having a blur about. I don't remember if Rocky, Adam, and Aisha actually discovered Billy as the Blue Ranger. But this is where Power Rangers hit the fan when Jason, Trini, and Zach left because of money issues. And instead they had like the World Peace Treaty, whatever. And now they left to only be replaced by Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. In order for them to get the actual powers, one of us has to go to the Forbidden Planet. So now... So I'm going to use Jason because he's the one who has to relinquish his powers to give it to Rocky, Adam, and Aisha. And of course, We get Goldar one last time. It's funny how, like, even in the Power Rangers show, they barely showed Jason, Trini, and Zach when they left, but they use like these random weird stunt doubles and these really weird scenes to show who they are, and that was like something I never even noticed as a kid, and they just recycled the same storylines, the same footage from different episodes, which made it look like they were there, but they weren't. Because you can tell by Zach's hair, because he had the braids. And the clips that they were showing, he was back to his regular buzz cut. Or his afro fade. See, and that's Goldar disappearing again, last time. So now we have these random rocks and stuff falling. And if I can get a life, that would be really great. Nope. Alright, so I'm pretty much about to die right here. Because my health is really low. Okay, so I'm basically dead, but I'm still going to use the Red Ranger. So now I lost a credit, so I'm down to 5. I don't even remember the Forbidden Planet looking like this anyway. Alright, so we got another credit, back to 6, doing well. So here is the statue, which is the main part of the game. Or sorry, the main part of the stage. You just have to keep beating it until it breaks. And we smashed it into pieces. So now, because of that, Tommy was able to give Rocky, Adam, and Aisha the Power Ranger powers, allowing Jason, Trini, and Zach to leave. And now we are back in present time from from stage 2, we're back to where we are, having them remembering all that. And now we are back into the final scene of Power Rangers the movie, where Ivan Ooze goes into the host of the Hornetron. So technically, half of the game is just a waste of time because it's just a TV show scenario, whereas the movie was basically the first 2 stages of the game. Okay, so now I'm going to start off with Falcon Zord. And then if I die, I'm going to head straight into the other Megazord. So again, it's back to daytime, same scenario. Alright, so the Falcon Zord is down. I'm gonna go down to the Ninja Megazord now, because he does have some pretty good punching. And Ivan Ooze is not a joke in this, so I'm gonna hopefully defeat him. Oof, look at that. Just in a matter of seconds, he's already caught up. Alright, so we're gonna go back to Ninja Megazord because he was doing fairly well. So now, just like in the movie, Ivan Ooze goes up into space. And then they called him the Booger Man. It's funny how in the movie they had the button where it's like knee to the groin. It's crazy how Zordon would actually put that in the Megazord. Alright, so now we're on some flaming planet, possibly the moon. I should probably learn how to block. Oops. The Megazord is down again. Continue with the Ninja Megazord. So Ivan Ooze basically flies up into space and showing you bonus points. And even before the game actually ends, you get the screen of inputting your actual initials. And I actually do not know how to act. Okay, so that's good. Because usually that screen takes a while to load. So now instead of actually fighting in the final battle, you just get a cutscene of them actually fighting, and then the Megazord just moves out of the way. And a giant meteor hits Ivan Ooze, giving us the happy ending from that movie that we all remember and loved. So Angel Grove has been saved once again from Ivan Ooze. Cool part is, at least now we get to see Bulk and Skull in the game. They look pretty good, won't lie. Aisha has her mouth open over there, which looks weird. But at least we also get the juice bar, because I believe in the SNES version we actually do see the juice bar in the end credits when they're dancing. Of the first Power Rangers game, at least. And just like how in the movie Bulk and Skull are talking about how they're the ones who defeated the monster and all that, so that's kind of funny. And they're using the same music too. I love the credits of this, like just the colors in the bottom fading up into the regular colors is awesome. But yeah, that is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie for Sega Genesis. Again, this game is pretty fun. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's fun if you have a second player with you. But as a one-player game, I think it's just a cool beat 'em up fighting game that you can just play on a random day and just enjoy and have fun. It's not like a very stressful game. It's fun, it's exciting, it's something I enjoy playing as a gamer. So yeah, it's a great game. I highly recommend anyone who doesn't have it to go buy it if you're a big fan of Power Rangers or just a big fan of fighting games in general. So yeah, so thanks for watching. Give a like and subscribe for more Shark Plays episodes, and I will see you all next episode.